Hi guys, welcome to Safi Mixed. In this video, I will talk about the different types of models scientists use in scientific studies. And I would like to begin from what we call physical model. A physical model for an experiment, for an event, for certain observations is a model whose part can directly be touched, whose part can be directly seen. So a model or experiment based on such objects that can be seen, that can be touched is called a physical model. So I call it models. For example, if you want to make an experiment on a simple pendulum and you want to measure a link between the length of the pendulum and the time period or frequency and length, whatever you may be observing, but you are focusing on your model, which is a simple pendulum, then that is a physical model in a sense that you can see the length of the thread, which describe the length of the pendulum, and similarly you can touch the bob used in the pendulum, and you can touch the apparatus, the device that you use for measuring time, the time period, which is a stopwatch. So such models in which the bodies, the parts involved can be touched, can be seen, are called physical models. Then there is another kind of model, we call it computer model. Computer models are models that are used to study the behavior of certain physical events, certain physical phenomena, but in these models, the objects that are used are not physical. We cannot touch those objects, although we can visualize those objects on the screen of our computer, but we cannot touch them. They are not physically there. They are not existing physically on the screen, but that is an image that the software in collaboration with hardware we see on the screen. For example, we model human heart on computer to study its different behaviors like the electrolytes, the beats, the circulation system. We visualize human heart on the computer through with the help of software in collaboration with hardware of the computer, but we cannot physically touch the heart. Such models that explain different behavior of certain events, of certain physical phenomena simulated on computer are called computer models. They cannot be physically touched. Then there is a third type of models that scientists use, and that is called idea model. Idea model, I think there is no S over here. Yes, there is no S over here. Idea models are based on certain concepts, on certain ideas, and scientists try to represent their ideas, their concepts in terms of equations, and then tries to solve those equations to reach certain conclusions. On that basis, the idea models are also called theoretical models. And in idea models, the solution may be analytically possible or may not be analytically possible. If the solution is analytically possible, then that is a solvable theoretical model, solvable idea model. However, in certain cases, the model cannot be exactly analytically solved. Then we describe another type of model. We call it numerical model. That is, the idea model can either be solved analytically or can be solved numerically. So we use numerical procedures to solve idea models. For example, There are different theoretical models in physics, very popular theoretical models in physics. And if I take one example of atomic models, we have J.J. Thomson model, then we have Rutherford model, then we have Bohr model, Summerfield model, and obviously now the quantum model. All these models were trying to explain certain existing numerical phenomena, numerical results. Like, for example, Bohr model was devised to explain the different spectral series emitted from hydrogen atom, the Paschen series, the Balmer series, the Lyman series, etc. So this way, a model is constructed to explain certain existing experimental evidence, or the experimental evidence may not be there, but there could be an idea. For example, in the case of the theoretical model of Einstein's special theory of relativity, uh, through the help of that model, that theoretical model, that idea model, Einstein was able to prove a very strong relation, E equals mc square. This is obviously the relation responsible for different changes at nuclear level that enable us to construct nuclear reactors. And obviously, with the help of the same theory, Einstein showed that time is not an absolute quantity, rather time is a relative quantity, whereas time was considered an absolute quantity in the classical arena of physics through Newton's laws of physics. And similarly, there was another conclusion of this idea model, of this theoretical model, and that is the speed of material objects. Einstein showed that no material object can reach to the speed of light. The upper limit on the speed of material particles is the speed of light, and that is the highest speed existing in the universe, and is obviously taken as universal constant. So speed of light in vacuum is a universal constant and is obviously written as c equals 3 into 10 raised to the power 8 meter per second, which is can be obtained from obviously from Maxwell equations. So we use these three different types of models in scientific studies, and obviously this is then of two types. It could be solved analytically, the idea model or the theoretical model. Let me write theoretical model here as well. Models, theoretical models, they can be solved analytically or can be solved numerically. Thanks for watching.